Here's another view of the Barnsdall Park sign, and today we're going to go take a look at some plein air painting, some oil painting of California landscapes, and it's an outstanding exhibit and I think you really enjoy it. And it's April 2012. Okay, and here is the art gallery. This is the entrance. It's a really nice building. It's reminiscent of the Frank Lloyd Wright architecture on the whole grounds. And this exhibit is called Saving Paradise. And it's March 8th to May 6th, 2012. The title of the show is called Saving Paradise, the symbiosis of landscape painting and environmental awareness. And it features a collection of landscape painters who are confronting nature head-on by painting plein air or in the open air. And I think you're really going to enjoy these paintings. This is the gallery space itself. It's a big, open, modern-looking gallery with a lot of light and a lot of great artwork. And this is one direction, and there's another hall facing exactly the other direction. This is our first painting we see. It's by Lynn Gertenbach, and it's called Marshland Sundown. And it's an impressionistic painter of the sunset, and it's just beautiful. And the image on the video does not do it justice. It's luminant. The oil painting is luminant, and it glows with energy and light. And here's a detail from the painting that again doesn't do it justice. It just glows with light and luminance. It's very nice. This painting is by Stephen Mirich and is called Tranquil Reflections. And again, very nice. This one is large, maybe 3 foot by 2.5 foot. And it's done in oils, and it's very nice. This painting is by W. Jason Situ. It's called A Quiet Evening, and it's 20 by 30 inches, and again, an oil painting, and it's just magnificent. And I don't think that the video does it justice because it too is luminant, glowing with luminance. Very nice. This is another large oil painting by Alexei Steele called Sacred Land. And you see it right when you come in, and it's probably my favorite of the show. And it's hard to tell, but the artist has used gloss and flat, where the gloss is where the light is illuminating the landscape, and then the flat paint is in the shadows. And again, it's just luminant, and it makes the whole painting come to life. Very nice painting. Masterfully done. This painting is an oil painting by Eleanor Freudenstein. It's called Another Way Through, and looks almost photographic in its precision. And it just feels like a nice summer day. I have no idea how to say this guy's name. Rodolfo Rivadenear. And this is a large oil painting, and it looks like a palette of a Monet. Some of Monet's paintings. It has the same palette. It's very nice. Here's a nice little painting by Carolyn Hess Lowe called Tidal Flow. And it's an impressionist oil painting. They really captured the light and the feeling of the landscape here. This is a tiny little 5 by 8 inches oil painting by Carol Peak called Marin Spring. So this must be from Marin County, north of San Francisco. Another long name I don't know how to say, Stanislav Prokopenko, and it's called Cold Afternoon in Julian, and it's oil on linen. And it really captures the barn there. Very nice. Here we have another oil painting by Carol Peak, and this is called Summertime at Hawkwood. And it almost looks like a photograph. It's done very nicely. Here's a small oil by Jose de Juan. It's called Rainy Pastures, Sonoma. And it must be from Sonoma County, California. And I particularly like the way he did the sky and just the whole painting, really. Very nice. This is another painting by Jose de Juan called Flower Cultivar. And it's another oil, and it's a nursery. This painting is by Gil Dellinger, and it's called From a Pure Source, Kings Canyon. And this must be from Yosemite Kings Canyon in California. And he really captures the translucence and luminosity of the water. Very nice. I love oil painting. And here we have a watercolor by Larry Cannon called Sonoma Mountain Oak. And it must be from Sonoma County again, California. So we have a lot of paintings of California here. This is an oil painting by Richard M. Humphrey called Solitude. And I really like it. It reminds me of a Cézanne, the style, for some reason. Here's a detail of that painting of the hill. Very nice. Just the general shapes, but it really conveys the feeling of roundness and depth. Here's an oil painting by Michael Obermeyer called Whaler's Cove. And it's oil on canvas. It's 12 inches by 24 inches. Again, just really nice. The light and the water, very nice. Another painting by Michael Obermeyer called Limestone Canyon. Limestone Canyon. It's 11 by 14 inches. You really get the depth in that. This is by Peter Adams, a large oil painting called Pools Above Stortavant Falls, the San Gabriel Mountains. And again, very nice, the treatment of light and water. It's a large oil painting by Dennis Doheny called New Dawn. And you can see the double rainbow. And I don't think the video does it justice because the painting is just luminance. And the sky is fabulous, the way he captured the light in there. It's an oil painting by June Roca. This painting is called Tejon Ranch, Wildflowers in May, by June Roca. And the orange ones, I know those are California poppies, and we see a lot of those purple ones around, but I don't know what they're called. Very nice. This is another favorite of mine. It reminds me of Cézanne. By Raymond Chuvas, it's called View of Sespe Creek, Fillmore. Must be Fillmore near San Francisco. And I don't know how to say any of these names, but I love the paintings. And this reminds me of a Cézanne landscape. Only better. Another nice oil painting by Raymond Cuevas called Shadows, Piru Creek. And both these two paintings I like. They're simplistic in the detail, but they really capture the feeling. Very nice. Another nice painting by Lynn Gertenbach, Malibu Creek Spring. Malibu Creek Spring. A nice oil painting by Carl Dempwolf called Bridge Over the Big Tujunga. And this again reminds me of a Monet. The palette reminds me of a Monet. Very nicely done. A nice oil painting by S. Burkett Kaiser called Patrick's Point, Humboldt County. And they really captured that. And we have a special treat because they painted the same painting at night. And here we have what looks like a companion painting by S. Burkett Kaiser called California Moonlight. Very nice. This is a small oil by Kathy O'Leary called Earth and Sky, Tejon Ranch. And a companion piece by Kathy O'Leary called Approaching Rain, Tejon Ranch. Approaching Rain, very nice. And this oil painting by Scott W. Pryor is called S+W. I have no idea why, but it's a nice little painting. Here we have a painting by Tim Soliday called Sycamore Hillside. Kind of nice, the white tree. This is a nice painting by Jesse Powell called Backlit Eucalyptus Trees, Eaton Canyon. And I really like it. When I saw it, I thought that was a scene from Will Rogers State Park. And I knew instantly they were eucalyptus trees, and it's just well composed. Very nice. And here's an oil painting by Margot Lenartz called Malibu Bluff. And I swear I've been up there on that Malibu trail walking right through those plants. Another nice impressionistic painting of the local landscape. A nice painting by Marcia Burt called Upper Crossing, Late Sun. And I really like the way she has the sky and the land reflected in the water pool, the puddle in the foreground. Very nice. The colors just work together nicely. There's a detail on the painting by Marcia Burt, Upper Crossing. Just areas of color, but it really works together very nicely. Another painting by Marcia Burt called Cattle Above the Creek. And again, I really like the way the sky is reflected in the puddle of water. Just a nice composition with nice color work all through it. Very nice. I wish I could paint like that. And here's a detail from Cattle Above the Creek. Again, just simplistic but nice colors that really work together well. Another painting by Stephen Mirage, Moonrise over Bixby Slough. And it may be a little bit light on the video. It's a little bit darker in real life, but still very nice. Painting by Mark Farina called China Cove, Point Lobos Reserve. And I like the way he captured the water and the luminancy in the water. Very nice. This painting's by Karen Winters called Blue Skies Ahead. This is Bishop, California. And we see a lot of skies like this in California, driving on the highways. Very nice. This is by Chuck Kovacic, Memories of an Earned Past. And I like the way he captured the flowers going off into the depth there. Just a lot of very talented painters here. Another painting by Chuck Kovacic, They Are Remembered Here. And this just looks like Memorial Day to me. Just with the yellow house, the old Victorian house, and the flowers. When I was a kid, they'd have the World War I veterans on Memorial Day, and that's what this reminds me of. Here we have a painting by Victoria Brooks, American River Fall. And I like the way these painters do the water. Very nice, reflected, and all the colors in the landscape. And here's a detail of this one. You can just see the areas of color, but they all just work together to create the whole image. Very nice. This is Richard Probert, Meadows and Mountains in May. A nice little oil painting. Reminds me of driving through the desert or through the countryside in California. Here we have an oil painting by Thomas Van Stein, The Bird Refuge. Very nice. And we got a special treat because the artist is here. And we just happened to run into the artist today. This is the artist, Thomas Van Stein there. And can you tell us something about the painting? Or?
Absolutely. This is painted in Santa Barbara, California. And I teach a class through the City College called Light and Shadow in Art. And it's a plein air painting class. And this was the demonstration painting for the first class of the fall term 2011.
Oh, nice. So, very nice.
There you go. It's teaching people how to work with oils and see light.
Right. And we can see the dynamic range in that painting, from the shadows to the highlights right on top of the water.
It's a limited palette of 4 colors: ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, burnt umber, and a little bit of yellow ochre. Right,
and that gives a unifying quality to the whole painting that unifies it. Very nice. How long have you been painting?
All my life. Professionally since 1984.
Oh, nice. Very good. Well, thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
Another painting by W. Jason Situ called Magnolia Garden. And another painting by S. Burkitt Kaiser called Cambria Lupine. And that must be the flowers, the lupine. And we see he's got this kind of Monet-like palette that he really likes. Kind of soft colors, a little bit hazy, very nice. Here's a painting by John Budissin called Turn to Gold. It's an oil, 9 by 16 inches. And boy, I swear I've seen so many areas along the California coast that look like that, with the hills going right down to the ocean. Although this might be a lake, I don't know, but very nice. And here's a painting by Herb Seymour called Big Trout Heaven. It's oil on canvas, about 18 by 24 inches. Here's a painting by Eric Merrill called Joshua Tree Nocturne. And I really like this one. It's a little darker in real life, but it reminds me of the Whistler paintings or the Turner paintings at night, where it's just kind of almost abstract, but very nicely done. And I've been to Joshua Tree before. Another painting by Eric Merrill called Morris Dam and Reservoir. And he really knows how to get that abstract feeling in his artwork. It's a landscape, but it's also, you know, edging on the abstract shapes, and very nicely done. And here's a painting by Carolyn Hess Lowe. It's called Back Road. And she really captures the feeling of the light like Edward Hopper would do. And really has the light off the dry grass, very nice. Gives a feeling of depth and spaciousness out in the country. This is a painting by Gerald D. Rahm called Spring Palette. And you can really see a lot of the brushwork if you look at it up closely. There you can see all the scandalously naked brushwork he's got in there. But it really works to give the feeling overall. Another painting by Gerald D. Rahm called Poppy Pasture. And these must be California poppies because they're orange. And again, he's got that naked brushwork in there. There's a detail from the Poppy Pasture. Very nice. You know, it's not really impressionist brushwork. I'm not sure what you would call it, but it certainly gives the effect. And a painting by John Budissin called Brisk Morning. And I love the purple shadows and the snow. And this must be up north, because this certainly isn't out in the desert. Here we have a watercolor by Charles Zlatkoff. Fall's First Snow, Sangre de Cristo Mountains, I guess Santa Fe, New Mexico. And this is a watercolor, and you can see a little bit of the gallery reflected in the glass, but it's nice. And it almost is like an abstract painting, but very nice. And this is the poster for the California Art Club, Saving Paradise, Symbiosis of Landscape Painting and Environmental Awareness. There's a lot of nice landscape painters, just luminant oil paintings of the California Art Club. A lot of California art.